A bipartisan group of members held a press briefing Monday on proposed legislation to legalize sports betting in Minnesota. Representative Zach Stevenson sponsors House File 778 that would allow adults to legally place wagers on sporting events online or at businesses that offer sports betting options.
Our bill includes both brick and mortar sports betting at tribal casinos, as well as statewide mobile sports betting operated by the tribes in partnership with commercial operators. To put that in plain terms, if this bill passes, Minnesotans will be able to visit sports betting lounges and casinos all across Minnesota, and they'll also be able to wager on sports from their own mobile phones, anywhere in the state.
The proposal received Commerce Committee approval by a 14-4 vote the following day. One concern shared by some testifiers and members was how a mobile option would affect younger adults, as some studies show that could lead to gambling problems down the road.
We aren't talking about bingo or a friendly wager amongst friends or even charitable gaming. Commercialized sports gambling, particularly when available through one's smartphone, is like an addictive drug that harms lives, families, and the common good.
A proposal that supporters say would help create a more historically aware society by replacing Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day was approved by the House Education Policy Committee Wednesday. Representative Heather Keeler sponsors House File 2856, which aims to make the switch between recognized state holidays and would require schools to organize programs about the history and culture related to Native Americans.
Minnesota sits on 100% treaty land. It is our responsibility to understand and recognize the unique relationship and the invaluable relationship that we have with our tribal nations in the past, the current, and in the future.
Members agreed that it is important to recognize Indigenous people, but Representative Peggy Bennett suggested creating a separate special day instead of eliminating Columbus Day.
I think it's totally appropriate to honor Native Americans, Indigenous people in our schools and have a special day where we focus on that. I think that is wonderful and we should do that. But I'm questioning, why are we replacing another holiday in order to do that? Why not create a special day, perhaps the day the governor named, as a day to do that in our schools?
On Thursday, the House passed a proposal that would, in part, provide roughly $10 million toward eligible farmers who were impacted by last year's drought. Representative Mike Sundin sponsors House File 3420.
As early as last July, we saw the drought was having negative impacts that were hitting farmers especially hard. As summer turned into fall, thousands of Minnesota farmers experienced real economic setbacks because of the drought, but some had it much worse than others. This bill will provide a much-needed lifeline to those who provide our most basic need, food.
Representative Paul Anderson supports the bill, but expressed disappointment that more funding wasn't available for farmers who have experienced the worst of the 2021 drought.
We all had pandemic issues and such, and drought issues as well, and Wisconsin allocated $100 million to farmers in their state, and we are doing a $10.1 million drought aid package. Again, we appreciate getting what we are, but in light of the scope of the damages that we had last year, it just isn't enough.
House File 3420 passed by a 101-33 vote and was sent to the Senate. For more nonpartisan coverage of the Minnesota House of Representatives, check out our Session Daily work at house.mn/sessiondaily.